Community members say they've enjoyed seeing this project come full circle. Their kids got to enjoy Kids Kingdom, and now they get to help build Mickey's Kingdom for other children to enjoy. The morning routine for bus drivers is more complex than grabbing keys and heading out. They have to examine their bus, marking off everything on this checklist before they even pick up their first child to ensure that everyone stays safe.
Now neighbors say they don't have a problem with solar energy itself, but rather the magnitude of the project that will be seen right from their front yard.
As you can see, this tree is massive and it did a significant amount of damage to both of our homes. The owner says it'll take a lot of help to clean up this mess.
We grew up singing the hymn America the Beautiful in church, and when I sing that song, I think about these fields.
Kathy and Eric Cure are concerned about the future of their neighborhood.
When we found out about this project, it was the magnitude of this project. I can't find anything larger than this in the state of Indiana.
Their home of 36 years is currently surrounded by hundreds of acres of farmland. But soon 3 sides of their property could be farming a more modern commodity, solar power.
You have a platted subdivision to our east. You have homes that have been here for 100 years and more. And for them to want to put what I consider a power plant in our backyard is just not acceptable.
The proposal involves a 30-year lease of the property near the Cure's home with 2 10-year options to renew.
The only person that we can see that's profiting from this are the property owners that signed and this company in California.
Now neighbors say they don't have a problem with solar energy itself, but rather the magnitude of the project that will be seen right from their front yard.
We do have a voice. We know we're up against big money. They're throwing big money at these property owners.
Cure says she's concerned for future generations who will live near the property.
It's my lifetime and our children's. And then if it does not go back into ag, what does it become?
In just a little more than a week, students in Henderson head back to class. But during the summer months, teams of people are keeping an eye on the buses, making sure they're ready to pick up the kids on the first day.
Well, we run our buses through a strenuous check on during the summer. Our mechanics go through them from top to bottom, body, tires, engine, brakes.
And that's not the end of the prep work. The morning routine for bus drivers is more complex than grabbing keys and heading out. They have to examine their bus, marking off everything on this checklist before they even pick up their first child to ensure that everyone stays safe. That includes making sure all of their lights are working properly, checking their brakes, tires, engines, and compartments, even walking the aisles to make sure the chairs are secured and the bus is clean.
You know, a kid has a better day when our buses are clean from start to finish. We're the first ones they see and the last ones they see at the end of the day.
And transportation officials have a reminder for parents getting ready to send their children back to school.
Please allow, 5 minutes before your bus time is scheduled. Have them stand at the bus stops in a single file line as good as they can and enjoy the ride.
I do the paddling and the driving. They just get chauffeured across. When you live in the river bottoms, this is just every 3 or 4 year occurrence. So yeah, we're kind of used to it.
It may not be the normal way most students get to the bus stop in the morning, but for Maggie and Preston, it has been a way of life.
It's just what you do when you live down here. We have to go to work, our kids have to go to school, so we got to make do.
Dad gets some exercise each day while paddling, but Mom, Maggie, and Preston get to relax and enjoy the scenery. Bus driver Marla Ward picks Maggie and Preston up on McDonald's Landing Road every morning at 6:30. So after Maggie and Preston get across the flooded waters, they have to jog a few yards down the road to where the bus picks them up.
They like it, especially when they get to ride in the tractor. They ride in the bucket, so they think it's fun.
Normally they can just use the tractor to get through, but when waters are too deep for the tractor, they use the boat. Despite the challenge of paddling across a flooded road every morning, Tracy says he has seen worse.
I've lived down here for 35 years, so 97 was about a foot deeper than it is right now. So yeah, it was significantly worse.
There will likely be a few more morning paddles and boat rides to the bus stop left before waters recede.
It actually looks like here it's dropped a little bit overnight, maybe a few inches, so we're optimistic it'll start falling out a little faster than that.
In Henderson County, Chris Mastrobono, 44 News.
School is back in session. With early morning drop-offs and afternoon pickups, crossing guards are making sure EVSC students get to where they need to be safely. Tanya DeVelez has been a crossing guard for over 20 years and is keeping a close eye on the corners of Washington Middle School and Dexter Elementary.
We might be crossing grandkids, your niece or nephew. You never know. I mean, I've been a grandmother of 4, and I treat your kids like I want my kids to be treated.
On a typical school day, she helps nearly 40 kids cross the street, but says drivers need to be more aware in school zones.
They need to do the speed limit, go slow, think about the kids here. Because sometimes these kids, when they come out, they don't give us enough time to get in the middle of the road to stop the traffic.
Over the summer, the Evansville City Council passed an amendment to a previous ordinance to give more power to crossing guards.
What the new ordinance has done, it has allowed the crossing guards to be utilized in the case of an emergency. We can have them go out there, and if somebody disregards them, they are subject to a penalty.
The ordinance doesn't mean crossing guards will be directing traffic daily, but instead making crossing guards an arm of the police department.
It is nice that we have this available if we ever have an incident where traffic control is secondary to scene security. We want our officers to be able to take care of the scene, and then we can have help with somebody directing the traffic.
An EVSC spokesperson says the crossing guards are instrumental to the schools in the tri-state.
It makes us feel much better knowing that we have adults who are specially trained in helping students to cross the street.